Have you ever reminisced about those carefree days of youth, hours spent under the sun with friends, exploring hidden corners of the forest, chasing secrets and discoveries? Each day of our childhood felt like an adventure, filled with the thrill of learning something new, whether it was a new piece of technology or a delicious meal that you'd never tried before. As we grow older, it's humbling to look back and remember when the world was still brimming with mystery and wonder, and the unknown sparked joy rather than fear. But what if you were someone who never knew the outside world? What if the unfamiliar felt intimidating and the comfort of routine was like a warm, protective blanket? Sometimes all it takes is one person to help you take that first step into the wider world, and once you do, you realize you can never go back to being the same. Aria of the Beech Forest by Yugiri Aika is a short, wholesome slice of life series that beautifully explores themes of coming of age, solitude, companionship, and the quiet magic of self-discovery and mystery. Though it spans only 3 volumes, its nostalgic feel and gentle storytelling have left a lasting impact on me, and one that I'm not likely to forget. Nestled in a tranquil woodland, Aria of the Beech Forest tells the story of Aria, a timid young witch who lives a quiet life tending to herbs, knitting, and embracing solitude. Her peaceful routine is disrupted one snowy morning when she discovers a white wolf lying unconscious in the snow. To her astonishment, the wolf speaks and asks to stay with her. This unexpected encounter marks the beginning of a tender, transformative journey. As the wolf, or rather Gwyn, becomes part of her daily life, Aya gradually begins to lower her emotional defenses, confronting the loneliness she's carried and discovering the warmth and joy of true companionship. Aya's tale gently unfolds through themes of curiosity, loneliness, and connection, each one deeply human. At its heart, it's a coming-of-age story about stepping into the unknown. Having lived a secluded life, Aya has never interacted with the broader world. Everything she encounters is unfamiliar, sparking both excitement and a quiet fear of feeling lost and naive. Her solitude has shaped her deeply, fostering a strong sense of isolation that gradually evolves into a feeling of abandonment. To cope, she fills her days with simple tasks, knitting, cooking, cleaning, activities that she could choose to complete via magic, but instead does them by hand. These day-to-day tasks seem to ground her, perhaps even serving as a way to feel more human and forge a subtle connection to the world she longs to understand. This theme of connection deepens when Aria meets humans for the first time and her world begins to expand. I especially love the small touches in her dialogue, how she pronounces common words phonetically due to a lack of context and experience. These details make her feel incredibly real and endearing. As Aria ventures beyond her grove, she begins to discover not just the world, but herself, from tasting her first burger to stumbling upon social media. Each moment captures the joy and vulnerability of self-discovery. Through the friendship she forms and the bond she builds within the community, Aya slowly finds the courage to embrace her surroundings, and in doing so, she starts to grow not only emotionally, but perhaps even past her secluded grove. When I was in high school, I had a teacher from Ireland who often spoke about the magical quality of your childhood. He described days filled with adventure, running through rolling hills and exploring ancient castles, rivers and mountains. Ireland to him was a land steeped in mystery and folklore, where every corner held the promise of discovery. He spoke of warm-hearted people, comforting food that brought smiles, and a deep sense of belonging. With that in mind, it makes perfect sense that Ireland serves as the backdrop for Aria. Her journey feels perfectly fit for this type of country, with its quiet beauty and rich cultural heritage, but also offering this feeling of a wider world past its shores, or in Aria's case, past her forest. In many ways, Ireland itself is like a reclusive island, wrapped in its own traditions and stories, making it a fitting metaphor for Aria's personal transformation. Its deep history and folklore naturally invite exploration, encouraging characters like Aria to step beyond their comfort zones. As she ventures out, she begins to open up, one step at a time, discovering the magic not just of her land, but of human connection. Aika skillfully uses the art throughout the series to reflect the emotional theme she's exploring. When Aria feels insecure or anxious, the panels become tighter and more claustrophobic, visually amplifying her inner turmoil. In contrast, as she grows more curious and comfortable with the wider world, the pages open up into stunning double-page spreads that invite you to linger and soak in the beauty of the countryside. The artwork itself is soft and comforting, evoking the feeling of a cozy cottage nestled in late autumn, just before Halloween. It has that same nostalgic warmth and vintage palette that reminds me of Over the Garden Wall, rich in mood, texture, and quiet magic. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is the food. It's incredibly homely and really captures that comforting Irish feel. I especially love the pages where Aika takes her time walking through each step of a cooking process. It's cozy and detailed, and it makes you feel like you're right there in the kitchen with her. Honestly, I'm tempted to try and make some of these myself, assuming I don't burn down the kitchen in the process. One theme I've hinted at throughout this video is nostalgia. There's something about this story that struck me in a deeply personal way. Maybe it's because as I get older, I've become more reflective about my youth, or perhaps I miss that childlike wonder when everything felt new and exciting. I'm not sure if this story was meant to affect me like this, but the way Aria views the world with such joy and curiosity sparked a core memory. I didn't grow up in a secluded village, but the panel of Aria stepping out of the woods and seeing the sweeping plains and oceanside really hit home. I grew up by the ocean too, and that moment felt achingly familiar. Even towards the end of the series, when Aria faces a decision that pushes her out of her comfort zone, I think many of us can relate. Whether it's moving away from home for the first time or simply taking a solo trip, there's a nervousness in leaving behind what's safe and known. But like Aria, we all have to take that first step to leave the nest, so to speak. And I think that's the heart of the story, knowing where home is while having the courage and support to take the next step forward in your journey. Though just 3 volumes long, Aria of the Beech Forest rekindled that spark of childhood wonder in me. It reminded me of the joy of discovery I felt growing up, when every day held something new and magical, but it also gently reflected a deeper truth, that not everyone experiences the world the same way, and sometimes all it takes is a helping hand to take that first brave step forward. If any of this speaks to you, I wholeheartedly recommend giving Aria of the Beech Forest a read. It might just resonate with you the way it did me.